Hello everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. This is Dr. T, PhD, the Prodigy of Sports Psychology here on a wonderful day in Atlanta, Georgia. About to welcome back an incredible guest who's in Las Vegas, Nevada, and that's Kristy Wegert of My Workout Buddy, and she'll be on here momentarily. Before Kristy returns here to GoTarryn TV, I'd like to ask everyone if you could please be so kind as to like this video, leave us a comment, and share it with all of your friends and family out there. Today, we've invited Kristy Wegert to join us to talk about some different topics, including body positivity, mindset, motivation, everything that she's really good at in terms of coaching her clients and encouraging them to get leaner, get stronger, and just improve their overall health and fitness. And that's what she is a master of, and that's why she is my workout buddy, and that's why she'll be here in just a few moments to help us with all of that and just check in to see how everything else is going in her world. So when we return again, we're going to be having Kristy Wegert right here on GoTarryn TV. And remember, with GoTarryn Health and Fitness, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. We'll be right back. How are you doing out there, Kristy?
I'm pretty great. How are you?
Good, thank you. And thanks so much for being able to make it today. So I know today we wanted to talk about mindset and body image and motivation, and that's a fascinating topic to me. So my first question to you, Kristy, because we've talked with numerous different podcasts together about this subject in perspective to when you lost all of your weight before becoming a personal trainer. Let's talk about body image for a second. How important was that, I guess, from your own perspective personally, from, the kind of journey that you took before becoming a full-time personal trainer?
It's kind of interesting because that's a good question. So I spent most of my life being a big person, and if what I looked like had motivated me, I would have lost that 100 pounds a long time ago. And that's that most people grab on to. Once I got scared with myself, that I made a change. It wasn't as much of fun. Although it's nice, I like how it looks, being a little leaner than or a lot leaner in my case. But I needed to be motivated with everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I don't know if I've ever asked you this, Kristy, but in terms of the clients that you work with, what would you say as far as priority goes? Do you see a lot of your clients that come to you as that being like one of the most number one priority at the top of the list, that their body image is, similar to what you had before, that you relate to them, that they need help, with, I guess, adjusting that, so to speak?
In some cases, it's an education piece, I tend to talk more about the functionality of strength training and what it does to you from a daily life perspective, how it's going to serve you as you age. And to reframe what you're saying and try to get out of the mindset what it looks like. And that should be what required external. And I think everybody comes with a little bit of that kind of baggage, right? We all see the images that are supposed to be the ideal body look, and the magazines and the television and the movies. They're getting better about it, but bodies come in many shapes and sizes, and I know it's probably a hard pill to swallow, but you get what you get. And maybe looking clean and fit is everyone's main goal, but the truth is so much work to do that maybe being just healthier and stronger is a better mindset. And you can only be young and healthy looking for so long. We all age, lucky.
Yeah.
So don't hang on to that look
Yeah, it's funny you said that because, a lot of times I think that people have issues and problems with aging gracefully. Who was telling me, I think, was it Martha Stewart, I think is in her early 80s, and she was on the cover of some swimsuit illustrated magazine. Did you hear about this?
No.
Yeah, I have to look it up, but somebody was telling me about this, and apparently, yeah, I guess she's had a lot of work done, just like what's the other woman's name? Jane Fonda. I think she's had a lot of cosmetic surgery, but sometimes that doesn't look, it's almost better, I think, with the natural aging look. Usually is what most people, I think, would concur with.
I mean, if you don't mind looking like a completely different person, then go for it. I feel sort of sorry for Madonna because, I mean, she had this gorgeous signature look about her, and then she just doesn't even look like herself.
Yeah, why did she do that? I mean, you're right. That was plastic surgery gone wrong. What happened there? Is it just a mistake, or did she intend to look like that way?
I mean, a plastic surgeon can guess all day long about what somebody's going to look like afterwards, but she might have just needed such expensive work that she wound up looking like a totally different person at the end.
Yeah, almost unrecognizable, most people would say.
And a few stars have gone that way, and other people, just regular Joes as well. They can't stand looking at themselves in the mirror anymore, and they fall for the ideal again.
Yeah. And I think too much emphasis being put on kind of what is supposed to, be the ideal look. Like, for example, growing up, let's face it, the Barbie doll proportionally, if that actually looked like a real person, human ratio would probably look very sick or anorexic. And even these, runway models or swimsuit models that they have them out there and they look like they're barely 100 pounds and they look like skeletons. And I just don't know why in our culture that seems to be the definition or symbol of beauty. But I think that is changing, though, isn't it?
Yeah. There was a woman who is not exactly British royalty, but her husband abdicated the throne. God, what's her name? Mrs. Wallace or something like that. This is a woman from like the 40s or whatever, and she had this big foot that like inspired a huge baby boomer generation to be as thin as humanly possible. It was something to the effect of you can never be too rich or too thin.
Oh wow.
And yeah, I mean, think of Twiggy and some of those people, and she admitted to having an eating disorder too. But our mothers brought Generation X up with the ideal of that notion that being as skinny as possible is exactly what is acceptable, and nothing less than that would be perfect.
Wow. And was that mostly for females, or did that include guys too?
I mean, I think guys have their own thing. I have two brothers, and I've had some male clients too, and I think a lot of guys have that same kind of push, but it's more like to be big and burly with a small waist, big guns and all that kind of stuff. And I think you guys have your own troubles with the body image, not having the love handles or whatever, a nice behind to hold up your jeans. Yeah, there's a lot of that for guys too, I'm pretty sure, just from what I've seen.
Well, Kristy, I always think that us guys have an easier time or a pass almost, whereas women have it harder because, women almost on a pedestal are thought of, like you said, growing up, oh, you're supposed to be as skinny as possible or what have you. But for guys, it's almost like, oh, he's not fat. He's just got a dad bod. It's almost like a double standard, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be. It's being upheld by people who maybe aren't in the best shape either. Oh yeah, they can get away with it. They're guys. Like no one's speaking up on that one apparently, or no one's listening. But yeah, it certainly does seem that way. Some women can get away with it too, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not the thin ideal either. I'm kind of beefy for a chick. That I guess can scare people a little. I landed where I landed, and this is what I look like, so whatever.
about to the, body positivity that, we kind of speak of? How do you find it being more helpful to clients and just telling them to be, more positive on the body that they were both given and that they can, work on developing?
I love that movement that Linda Bacon started, the health at every size, and it works for some. It's not for everyone. There are, everybody. You have, as a trainer, you and I have to meet people where they are, and some people are in poor enough health that health at every size doesn't work for them, and you have to know your audience with that one. The body positivity in general, just being happy with your shape and size, and knowing what your limitations are, and where you can go with it, and having realistic expectations. That's a big part of that movement, I think, is knowing where you can go with what you have, and being positive about that. It's okay. Maybe you're not a runner. Maybe you like to ride a bike, and being okay with that piece of it, and being okay with your body and it's shaped this way. Or maybe you're a guy who doesn't have a butt. Okay, I'm not obsessed with butts, I promise. Maybe. I'm not sure I answered your question, but.
No, you reminded me, one of my clients, you'll laugh at this one too. This guy named Tom at the gym. When I first met him and we started working, he came up to me and he said, what can I do for my no acetol? And I was like, what? I didn't understand what you said. You're what? He said, my no acetol. I was like, what is that? I said, I'll be honest, I don't know what that is. He said, look, he's like, I've got no ass at all. And pointed to his rear end. And I was like, oh, that was a new one to me. And there was another one that was really funny. It was a woman, middle-aged, probably 50s or so, 60s. And she was wearing kind of like a sports top. And when I first met her, she had said, I need to do something about my bingo arms. And I never heard that one either. I said, bingo arms. And she proceeded to raise her arm up and flail away and say, it's when you say, I got bingo, and all this jiggles around. So, oh, it was great. Yeah. So
I've heard both throughout my life for different various reasons. I've never had the no acetol problem, but bingo arms definitely.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, yeah. That's hysterical.
And honestly, it's a piece of having lost weight too for me. It's not an age thing yet. It's when you lose 100 pounds, you have stretch marks, and that's the lose. No matter how much muscle I put on, I'm always going to have that once I go and get surgery. Not afraid to just talking piece is education, and it's just the way that it is. Yeah, I mean, I can't put on. I put on as much muscle as I think I can without steroids, and it's not going anywhere.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. But like with the whole being positive is so important because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think research has shown that women definitely deal with body dysmorphia more so than us guys. And but also, when you have, let's say, a woman who looks in the mirror and she's anorexic, but she sees someone who is morbidly obese and she needs to lose 100 pounds when she looks in the mirror, then that's a serious problem. And it's definitely at that point for sure more psychological. And I guess that's where the some type of professional therapy help comes into play, huh?
And if we're trained and we understand disease, there's also dysmorphia in the other direction. I have worked with several clients who are very large and they don't think they are, and plenty of people who suffer from binge eating, binge purge or anorexia or whatever, and they don't see the whole person. Instead, they see the tiny little bits that they don't like, and that definitely feeds into it. They're very difficult.
Yeah, that's a good point. And every commercial, let's face it, on television or advertisement, the marketing is all geared around oh, you could take this pill and lose this much weight, or, we could do this kind of sculpting, or this is the latest liposuction that we, come up with, or what have you. And it's just amazing that how far of a priority it seems like for, at least in our country, people take that so much into consideration that they'll almost spend, I think you and I have talked about this as far as like an economic standpoint. Like somebody might, just the other day, I quoted someone for my personal training sessions, and they said, "Oh, wow, you're so expensive. I didn't realize how expensive, your rates are." And I was, in my mind, I never really like, argue. If that's the perception, that's fine, that's okay. But in my mind, I'm just thinking, well, how important are your goals? And, also, what about all the other stuff that you're spending your money on that got you to this point, and sometimes I think we have to do some introspection and look in the mirror, because this particular person said, I've got 50 pounds to lose. I need to lose it right away. I've gone to the bar. My girlfriends, I just drank too much, and we go out to eat all the time. And, I'm not a dummy. Like with inflation and, go out to eat, you're easily spending a whole lot more money than, we did several years ago. So again, I think personally, a lot of that's not only personal accountability, but responsibility priorities, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, just from a not so much a money perspective, but I don't have enough time to do for you. And time to go to bed.
Yeah.
So how much time are you spending watching television?
Right. Exactly.
So, people's perceptions of these things is like, how important is it for you? Like when you do that, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is this to you, this goal? How much are you willing to change about your daily activities to fit this in? Because this is going to change a lot about what you do to yourself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I mean, it's like anything else. And unfortunately, I think in our industry, we don't get that kind of respect right off the bat, because it's like, you wouldn't go to your medical doctor and, they charge you a couple $100. We're not going to look the other way, without any hesitation of spending it. But it's like we go to a medical doctor and they're treating us for something, and we say, "Oh, well, I don't know if, I know you just healed me or cured my liver disease or whatever. And, my kidneys are now working, but $200 seems like quite expensive." It's almost like the same thing, I almost think, because almost worse, because I would argue that for us, we're trying to keep them from getting to that point, working on, preventative maintenance type. I mean, don't you think there's some legitimacy to that?
I think that there is a long game when it comes to what we do, Darren.
Yeah.
You're putting pennies in the bank every day that you choose, every meal that you choose to eat.
Right.
Beneficial for the person, harmful, and the same goes for your exercise. It doesn't happen overnight. That guy with the 50 pounds needing to lose it now. If you're going to do it correctly and do it in a healthy way that stays off, then it's got to be slow.
Oh yeah, certainly. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Another thing with the body image too, or the body positivity.
Uh-huh.
I've heard a lot of people talk about the fact that they feel like they hate themselves, they hate their bodies.
Oh yeah.
And that is such the wrong mindset. When you come into this, and this is really hard work and change is difficult, you should come from a place of love. And I know I sound like I'm being a hippie, but the truth is, it's much easier to do this work when you love yourself.
Oh, it's a good point. Yeah, you're right. That's a very good point.
Yeah. I mean, I recently had a woman who's about to turn 60, and the negativity she gives me on her body, the feedback she gives verbally, is unbelievable. She can't say one nice. I can't even ask. You say one nice thing.
Wow.
And I can't think of a thing, and I'm like, come on.
Wow.
Give me something to work with. Don't you like your smile? Don't you like your eyes? Let's start with something that's neutral here.
Yeah, that's so important. I agree. Yeah, more time than not, it really does come down to focusing on what we do have, or what we, our abilities, rather than what we don't have, or our inabilities. It sounds cliche, but the other thing too, Kristy, is motivation. That's such a big component. How do you find with motivating your clients and being able to keep them motivated? What is the secret, or what's the process on that in that system?
I mean, I have to really motivate their cardio.
Yeah.
And then the eating habits are probably the hardest, to be honest. Some people will just throw in with the whole thing and they do it all in their eating. And I'm always looking at slow change. You need easy, manageable steps starting where you are. And motivation comes from seeing results.
That's a good point. Yeah. And I'll tell you right now, I'll be very open and transparent. My challenge for myself, Kristy, is motivating for my own workouts, because I start so early that the only time that I literally can work out nowadays, I have to be at the gym at 5 right when they open to get my workout in. And it's hard because it's so tempting when the alarm goes off, thinking, well, I could lie here and just kind of rest and maybe get another hour of sleep. I mean, what's it going to hurt to just lose one day of working out? But I don't know what it is, but like if I do that, I really guilt trip myself, and also for the whole day, I just don't feel well mentally, more so than I think physically, because I just felt like I lost a battle, and was defeated. So even if I went to the gym and did a half workout that I was planning on doing, I think that's better than nothing. But that is so hard. That whole motivation is such an uphill battle. So I get it. I can understand for my clients and your clients too. I'm sure it's the same thing. We can kind of empathize with them sometimes with some of the struggles they have.
So every struggle I've heard, every excuse I've heard, I've used them all. I had a bunch of trainings before I was ever one myself. And I was the worst kind of client, man. I would cancel last minute. All kinds of stuff. I negotiated sets,
Yeah.
It was a bad client. So whatever karmic retribution I'm getting right now from people, I totally deserve. But I honestly, like that thing about the morning, I actually have something for you. There's a trick I use for stuff like that. And I tell people about it too, because I've heard what you just said, but I've been in that position as well, where I just want to stay in bed, I just want to read my book longer, and I ignore that voice because it doesn't actually have any control over me. It's just noise. You override that little kid in your head going, I don't wanna. You can have that, and every time you do it, you get stronger. And it's just a matter of that practice of getting over that hump that everybody has a voice in their head. I don't wanna. If you're persistent with it, it becomes second nature.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, the other motivation too is I just don't like traffic, and if I was to wait and leave a little later, it's just amazing with Atlanta traffic lately how it's gone, and just every little minute counts if you leave later in the morning. It's just it could be night and day between not leaving early enough.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where you live, but I know the gym you work at, and getting to that point in Atlanta is not easy.
Right. Yeah, that's the other thing. And also, I live about close to 45 minutes away because I'm in Fayette County, which is south of the airport. So it's a hike. So to leave with no traffic at like 4:15 in the morning, I just barely make it to the gym that I go to at 5 to go work out right when they open. So it's definitely, we talk about motivation, but also I guess it takes a lot of sacrifice, doesn't it?
Sacrifice, and being a good planner.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I have my gym clothes set out the night before, even my shoes, the whole thing. My little gaiter I put around my wrist that I use as a towel in the gym or running or something. I mean, I'm ready.
No, that's so smart. Yeah.
You have to be. Just,
no, that's a great idea.
Based on what am I going to do tomorrow? Well, tomorrow's back and biceps, so I need these clothes. I need to eat this food, and I need this much time.
Yeah.
Non-negotiable.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny because I don't know if you've experienced this correlation or if you see this, as far as it'd be interesting to see what the research says on this. But most of my personal training clients that I see in the mornings are pretty consistent that they're not going to cancel or flake out at the last second. However, my afternoon clients, it's a different story. It's sometimes invariably almost something will come up. If I've got an afternoon session or client, they might say, "Oh, boss pulled a meeting on us," or "Oh, such and such got canceled or delayed." Yeah, it's amazing. Like, I don't know. I mean, am I the only? Do you ever see that kind of pattern, or not necessarily?
Um, I think that, well, because I'm in the West and in the Pacific time zone, and I work a lot with people still in Atlanta on Zoom.
Yeah.
Um, what I am dealing with are people who start at 11. I don't
Ah.
work until 8 a.m. I refuse.
Right, right.
My Atlanta people start at 11 a.m. and they've secured those spots and they won't jump off of. They are like, no, no, I won't trade with anyone. So it's great for them. Here in Las Vegas, I don't start until 8 a.m. and my Atlanta people took up that time slot. So
Gotcha.
mine tends to be more about maturity. Like my
Yeah,
first clientele keeps their time. They're always on time.
yep,
Anybody like in their 70s and 80s, boy, they are like clockwork. They're going
yeah,
to be.
right, right.
And
I find that
Oddly,
too.
is that way. He is like clockwork.
Interesting.
But sometimes the people in the middle, and I think it's to do with, a lot of moving parts in their schedules they don't have any control over. The husband, the kids, the job.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the midday freak out you're talking about, is people who have a lot more on their plate.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
the early morning people do too. They're just being like you and I. They're being very organized about their situation. They know if they don't do it in the morning, they're not going to.
Right, right, exactly. Yeah, I think those people that schedule those early morning times, I guess usually, like with me, if I've got like a real early person at 5 or 6 in the morning, they've usually got to be at work like first thing. So that's probably why they're scheduling so early. But yeah, yeah, I could see that. You're right. What you said about the people in their 70s and so forth, they're always like clockwork. That's a good point. That's how it is on my end as well.
I have the best luck with them, and they have typically very good attitude.
Yeah,
They have their
yeah.
minds wrapped around this thing. They know exactly what they want and need, and they're not. I mean, unless there's something wrong, and they'll speak up
Uh-huh.
about not pushing through pain like a lot of people will when they first start lifting weights. They think they're supposed to hurt,
Oh,
and
yeah.
difference between burning muscles and your joint hurting. We got to talk about that. But they're
Yeah.
very their bodies, which is wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's a good point too. Yeah, that's true. Well, that's good, Kristy. This has been very helpful and insightful as always. I always appreciate the being able to kind of talk about this. Very good information and again, very intriguing as well. But before we wrap up, I can't believe how fast 30 minutes goes by so quickly. I want to thank you for your time. Let's go ahead and plug, I guess, just go ahead and, the ways that people can find you and anything else that you've got going on, I guess, for the rest of the season here as we quickly approach summer.
Uh, Anything I've got going on? I'm going to Lake Tahoe in June.
Nice. Very,
Going
very good.
to March.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, never
Excellent.
just booked a flight. Anyway, so meet Kristy Wegert at My Workout Buddy. It's kwmyworkoutbuddy@gmail.com, or you can text me at 404-641-7173. If you want to read the testimonials from my clients, you can go onto my website at my-workoutbuddy.com.
Very good, Kristy. Well, thank you again. And in summary and in conclusion, I guess, like we talked about, it's all about motivation and body positivity and working on that body image, isn't it?
Love your body.
Very good. Love your body. That's very well said, Kristy. Well, thank you again. And here comes your contact information as we fade to black. We'll see you next time, Kristy.
Thank you.